So how long were you suffering from the erectile dysfunction?
I was suffering for 2 years or so.
You had taken Ayurvedic treatments and you never tried allopathic, any other treatment like medicines or penile injections?
No, I didn't. I was quite scared.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
After surgery, one more day.
Do you have any regrets getting the penile implant?
No regrets whatsoever.
So if you would have known that recovery would be like so smooth, would you think you would have done the implant earlier?
Yeah, I would have not wasted 2 years of my life.
And now the main question, why did you choose me as your surgeon? 34-year-old patient underwent penile implant surgery just 4 days ago, and today he is with us telling his full experience. I am Dr. Ashish, Sabharwal, urologist and men's health expert from New Delhi, India. Today we have this 34-year-old patient. He was suffering from erectile dysfunction and also tight foreskin. And we did Tactra penile implant along with circumcision. He is just 4 days after surgery. He is recovering well and he is here. So let's start his interview.
Hi.
So before surgery, let's hear the patient's journey. Please tell us about yourself. How old are you?
My name is. I am 34 years old and I am coming from Kerala.
So how long were you suffering from the erectile dysfunction?
I was suffering for 2 years or so. I tried many Ayurvedic treatments and stuff, and I didn't go for allopathy simply because you have some medicines and it might have other adverse reactions. So I didn't want to go for that. So I wanted a permanent cure for that, and precisely one of the reasons why I came and met you.
Okay. So you had taken Ayurvedic treatments and you never tried allopathic, any other treatment like medicines or penile injections?
No, I didn't. I was quite scared. Always has been saying that certain medicines that you have will have adverse reactions, certain reactions that you have to pay for in the future.
Okay.
So that is precisely the reason I thought.
So you wanted to go straight away for the surgery?
Right.
And what was your biggest fear at the time of surgery or before surgery?
Biggest fear was that simply because for me it's a big deal, this surgery, and that too it's a private part. So we are quite scared that what might happen. But once I came here and talked to you and understood that this is how it's going to be done, and it's a easy procedure. I've been doing it for quite some years, and it hardly takes you half an hour to 1 hour. So I was quite relieved.
Did you hesitate or feel embarrassed before undergoing surgery?
Yes, that is there. That is simply because it's a taboo issue. You don't discuss it with your family and friends, and that is something. It's an issue there in the society. So that is one reason that I kind of hesitated for 2 years or so, or else I would have come earlier.
So basically, did you tell your father or your parents or your partner about this?
No, I have not told my parents, but I told my partner, and she's quite supportive. But she didn't know the extent of what this happens, and she's like. She watched the videos with me and she kind of understood that this is the best possible thing, and we've gone through every videos and stuff, so we kind of understood that this is the best possible way. She supported me in my decision.
Good. So now let's talk about the surgery experience.
Okay.
Were you nervous on the day of surgery?
Obviously, sir. I've never been through a surgery myself, so I was quite nervous, and I know that you're the expert, but still for me it's my first surgery, so that kind of made me nervous. But the experience here was quite wonderful, and that really was quite an eye-opener for me.
How long did the surgery take?
I guess it took around half an hour.
Did you have any pain during surgery or immediately after surgery?
No. During the surgery, they give you anesthesia. They give you, so you don't feel at all. And even after the surgery, the recovery was quite smooth. So I didn't have much of pain at all.
So yeah, immediately after surgery, sometimes patients do have pain because it is immediately after surgery and effect of anesthesia goes away after surgery. But we always give medicines, injections to suppress that pain, and from next day onwards, the pain is almost minimal. When did you start walking after surgery?
Initially after the surgery, there's a catheter. So after 1 day. After 1 day, I was there in the hospital, and next day I started.
Yeah, so immediately after surgery, you had a catheter, you had dressing, you could not move.
Right.
And then next day morning we removed dressing, we removed catheter,
yes.
And you could urinate normally.
Yeah, initially I had a bit of an issue urinating, but that because immediately after removing the catheter there is a certain level of inflammation. But within that day itself, by night I was able to urinate properly.
Okay. How long did you stay in the hospital?
After surgery, 1 more day.
Okay. So total of 48 hours you stayed.
Right. Yes.
So most of the patients we discharged immediately on the next day, but since he was still recovering, he was not totally comfortable, so we kept him for 1 more extra day so that he's totally comfortable, and only then we discharge. Supposing some patients are having some issues, they're not very comfortable, we keep them for a longer time. Somebody who is totally fine, there is no issue, then we can even discharge the same day or the next day morning. So today you are just 4 days after the surgery.
Right.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling perfectly fine, no issues. I can walk, climb stairs. I'm almost back to normal.
How is the pain right now?
With the medications and the injections given from the hospital, I think pain is totally manageable. I was initially scared that the pain might be quite huge, but my experience has been quite to the contrary. That this has been quite manageable.
Okay, good. And what about walking? Any problem in walking?
No issues with walking.
Climbing stairs?
No issues with climbing stairs.
Okay. So the first 2 days after surgery, how difficult was that?
First 2 days, I would say the first day was maybe difficult because of the removal of the catheter and the catheter being there new, and then soon after then removing that catheter. That is the difficult part for me, but and the inflammation. But by the second day night, I was back to normal, and there was not much of a difficulty after.
And what surprised you most about the surgery?
Surprised me that you told me everything, but still it's my first surgery, so I was quite scared. And it hardly took half an hour, and I didn't feel any pain at all. And even the recovery part, apart from that inflammation caused by removal of the catheter, there was no issues at all. So the recovery part also was quite smooth, and that is something that I didn't expect at all. So that is quite surprising for me.
Okay, nice. So right now you're able to do all your work normally?
Yeah, I can do all my work normally.
Okay. And urination?
Urination is perfectly fine.
Now let us discuss about some common fears which all the patients who are thinking of penile implant surgery have.
Right.
So firstly, were you scared about losing size of the penis after implant surgery?
I had initially a fear that I might lose size, but the thing is, I had actually watched your videos where you had actually explained in detail that you do fill it with something and you understand the size, the full size extent of the penis, and then only you enter the penile implant. So you don't lose size at all. So that is for me, that was not an issue. I was quite clear. You clearly explained it in that video.
Okay, so right now the result you are happy about?
Yeah, very happy with the result.
Good. And were you also concerned if the implant would feel natural or something abnormal thing inside your penis?
Maybe because it's a foreign body that you're inserting in your body, so that is there. But now it doesn't make any difference to me. It doesn't feel different at all. So that fear is totally baseless.
Yeah. And did you worry about the complications and the infection before surgery?
Yeah, I did worry about the complications and infections because this is after all a surgery, and there might be complications and infections. But once I came to you and understood from you, and that is precisely why I suggest that people should come to an expert who has a lot of experience doing this, because they can really nullify any level of whatever complications comes your way. They are up to it, and there will be no question of infections at all.
Yeah, so see, the thing is, when we are doing the implant surgery regularly, so we have seen all types of penises, all types of complications, all types of difficult cases, and we have handled them. So we know exactly how to handle a particular case. During the surgery we can take decision. So that's why any type of difficult case, complicated case, we can do without any major difficulty. Even his case, the penis, there was a lot of fibrosis, and it took a little bit longer time to make space inside the corpora to place the implants, but final result is very good. And regarding the infections, we first start antibiotics before surgery, then during surgery we take all precautions, sterile precautions, we do antibiotic coating of the implant. After that, after surgery also we give patients antibiotics, and for almost 4 or 5 days we give IV antibiotics also, so that there is no risk of infection in implant surgery. So we take all precautions so that patient has a good result and there are no complications in the future. So now after the surgery, do you think that all those fears you were having about the size, about complications, about pain, were they reasonable or they were not?
No, they're like for a misinformed person, obviously you could have those doubts. But when you come to an expert, and when I've gone through this whole procedure, I say all of them were baseless. And I could have just come to an expert and asked him, and this thing, for anybody having those doubts, I think it's just baseless doubts.
Okay. So how do you feel emotionally about the implant now? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling confident that you'll be able to have good sex with your partner?
True, that is a huge morale boost, and obviously it improves your confidence as well as your self worth as well. So that is a factor when you're undergoing such a surgery.
So you feel happy?
Yeah, sure, for sure.
So what message would you give to patients who are suffering from erectile dysfunction and are thinking of penile implant surgery but they are afraid to do it?
See, I can understand the fears because I was also a fearful person and I had a lot of doubts. And let me tell you, I've also asked a lot of silly doubts as well. But the thing is, they are always here to answer you and let you know that the misinformation that you have, that will be cleared, and everything that can be done to make this surgery a very successful one will be done from Sir's side. And that is so. If at all you have any issues, you can directly contact Sir, and hardly take you a week or so. And you can go home rest assured that you have had a successful surgery.
Do you have any regrets getting the penile implant?
No regrets whatsoever.
So if you would have known that recovery would be like so smooth, would you think you would have done the implant earlier?
Yeah, I would have not wasted 2 years of my life. The amount of pain and agony you have to go through simply because you don't know what to do. If I had known that the recovery, even the surgery and the recovery part is quite smooth, then I would have done it much earlier.
So what message would you like to give to people watching this video?
My message would be simple. There are a lot of misconceptions out there. So the thing is, you'll have to actually consult an expert and see to it that those doubts are cleared, and go to an expert wherein they can actually take action. And surgery, it's made a big deal as per the society, but when I came here, my experience was completely different, and that is one of the reasons I definitely would suggest Sir and his team to those watching this video.
And now the main question, why did you choose me as your surgeon?
So I had gone through work you've done and your videos where you clearly explain, and even the videos like what I'm shooting right now. I had watched videos of experiences. Almost to an extent, all my doubts were cleared, but still because I'm not experienced in this regard, I still had to come here and ask you in person so that no more doubts remain. So that is one of the reasons I thought come here.
Okay. And how was the overall experience about the hospital, about the medical team?
The experience was really good, be it Sir or his staff and the doctors and everybody. It's like an ecosystem that is designed in such a manner they want to actually make sure that you get the best results possible. So it's been an excellent experience for me.
So again, in the last tell, if somebody is thinking of penile implant surgery and they're afraid of it, what message would you give to the patients?
I can understand that they would have a certain amount of fear and the amount of stigma that is there in the society. I can understand that, but still you will have to consult an expert in this field, and only if you consult an expert will you have an idea as to the amount of misconceptions that you have fed yourself. And for that reason, I think my experience has been great coming here, seeing your videos, and the whole recovery, surgery, recovery, everything has been great. The experience simply has been superb for me.
So friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends who are thinking of penile implant surgery, and please subscribe to this channel for more men's health information. Thank you.